If you're looking for the right answer on how do you find the right digital marketing agency for your business, then in this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv, I'm going to break it down in a detailed manner for you. In this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv, I'm also going to talk about what is that one thing that entrepreneurs should be doing but aren't doing. Also, I'm going to answer the question for those of you who are in a job and do not have any time for yourself and you're considering becoming an entrepreneur to get more free time. I'm going to clarify to you what you need to be prepared for. And lastly, for those of you who are aspiring entrepreneurs and you have friends who've become entrepreneurs and were excited at the beginning of their journey, but now are very discouraged and are discouraging you as well, saying that business is not easy, what should you do is what I'm going to be answering in this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv. So if you'd like answers to all these questions, then tune into episode number 83 of Get Real with Rajiv. Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 83 of Get Real with Rajiv. Like every single week, I'm going to be answering 4 questions, and today Pawan's going to be the voice of your questions. So Pawan, what's the first question?
Rohan asks, I've observed something common in many entrepreneurs I've come across and who have run a business for a while. Although they have seemed excited at the start of their journey, all they do is discourage people like me in taking up entrepreneurship and justifying that by saying that it is really hard. This leaves me confused. What should I do?
Well, Rohan, I don't blame those entrepreneurs who are discouraging you to start their own business because, when they started, they had this honeymoon vision of their business that I have this product or service idea, I'll launch it in the market, everybody will buy it, I'll make a lot of money and I'll have a lot of time freedom, I'll create wealth for myself. That's the vision that most people have when they start the business. But when the rubber hits the road, that's when you know the strength of the tire, right? So what happens to most of these people is this. They start the business with a vision saying, I want to be a crorepati because that's the sign of success. And then they realize crorepati equals 8,67,000 rupees personal income per month after taxes. That's when you're a crorepati because it's personal income. It's not to do with the turnover of your business. Now, after the business starts, they say leave 8,67,000 rupees a month personal income. If I do 80,000 rupees a month personal income, ghar chal jayega. That becomes the mindset of most entrepreneurs. And the reason for that is most entrepreneurs who start a business are actually not building a business. They are going deeper into a trap of self-employment, where the only focus is on monthly survival, the only focus is on firefighting, and the only thing that they are doing is employing themselves, giving themselves a job. And that's why I call that a trap of self-employment. And I want you to understand, Rohan, self-employment is very different from starting a business. In self-employment, owner dependency is high. Everything in the business is dependent on the business owner. Action consistency is low, which means because everything is dependent on the business owner, marketing, sales, operations, R&D, accounts, human resources management, all of this is not happening consistently because one man or two business partners cannot do everything consistently. And because the owner dependency is high and action consistency is low, result and efficiency is low. It becomes a game of month-to-month survival. So most people actually are not building a business. They are stuck in this trap called self-employment. Business is totally different from self-employment. In business, there is low owner dependency. Why? Because the business owner has built teams and systems. Most of these people are not even open to building teams and systems. They say, I don't have the money to build teams. I don't have the confidence in people doing the work as well as I can do it. Well, if you start a business with that mindset, you're going to be stuck in self-employment and you're naturally going to discourage other people who want to start a business. True business owners understand that business is a team sport. It's not a solo man sport. And that's why you got to reduce the owner dependency so the owner is not involved in day-to-day operations and you have a team that is focused on the job doing different activities of the business. And because you have a focused team, the action consistency is high. And because the action consistency is high and these are focused team members with specialized capabilities in that particular department, the results and efficiency is also high. And the job of the business owner is to build the team, build the system and build a strategy to build a profitable business model. Very few people understand what it takes to build a business. Most people get seduced into this coolness of becoming an entrepreneur without even having the capabilities of being an entrepreneur. And therefore, they get stuck in this trap of self-employment. So Rohan, here's what I would say. Stop looking at advice from those who've not yet built a scalable, profitable business for themselves because you can't qualify them as business owners. They are only self-employed professionals who are stuck in this trap of firefighting and are waiting only for month-to-month survival. If you truly want to build a business, learn from people who build scalable, profitable businesses, and you will see that their approach is totally different and they will always encourage you to start a business. I hope that makes sense, Rohan. With that, let's go to the second question of the week. So Pawan, what's the second question?
Varsha asks, I hired a digital marketing agency to market for me and build my brand as a personality. The pitch was really well structured and I bought in. However, I feel like I'm paying way too much for the value I'm getting. Is there a specific set of parameters to consider while hiring a marketing agency? I'm asking you because you too are a personality brand.
Well, Varsha, I'll tell you the number one mistake I see a lot of people make when they get excited by this game of digital marketing and they go and hire digital marketing agencies to build their personal brand. The number one mistake is that they even outsource the content creation to the agency. And the quality of content that the agency can churn out will never match the quality of content that you can churn out. Remember, you know your business best, you know your topic best, you know your content best. If you're ever hiring a digital marketing agency, hire them only for design capabilities and technical capabilities. The mistake is to hire them for content capability, design capability, and technical capability. They don't know your domain, they don't know your industry as well as you can do it. And if you're not willing to create the content, then I would say don't even play the game of digital marketing. So my recommendation to you, Varsha, is that the parameter you should use to validate a digital agency is their technical capability of how well do they know paid ads, how well do they understand content distribution, how well do they understand different platforms, and what is their design capability. Only when they have design capability and technical capability, and only if you are willing to create the content, then you are the perfect match. Otherwise, you'll always end up in relationships which will turn sour after those initial days of proposal creation and dreaming together and saying what the goals are. So that is my recommendation to you, Varsha, and it's also to every digital agency owner. Set the right expectation with your clients, demand the content from them, you sell your technical and design capability to them. That's when you are truly adding value to people. Otherwise, you end up promising the stars and you're not even able to pluck the fruit out from the treetop. So Varsha, this is for you and all those agency owners out there. With that, let's go to the third question for the week. So Pawan, what's the third question for the week?
We have Hamza asking, I see that with my job, I only work from weekend to weekend, and this is really depressing. I feel entrepreneurs live a life the way they want to and have a lot of time on their hands. I want to take that jump, but I wanted to validate this from you before doing so. Can you please provide some clarity?
Hamza, which TV serials have you been watching? Which movies have you been watching where entrepreneurs have so much free time? If you're watching Ekta Kapoor serials where they talk about 200 crore, 300 crore without having anything in their life, and if you're watching Wolf of Wall Street and you're glamorizing that as entrepreneurship, then let me tell you, those are the movies. If you want to start a business with the expectation that being in my own business, I will have a lot of free time, that's a notion, my friend, and that's a big misconception. At least in the initial years of your business, you will have no time. You'll have to work harder than what most people work in a job. Second, if you don't have the skills of building teams and systems, then this hard work and having no time continues for the rest of your life. Most entrepreneurs I have seen 20, 30 years in business still don't have time because they don't have the skills of building teams and systems to scale the business beyond their capacity. So Hamza, firstly, it's the worst reason to look at to become an entrepreneur. Don't start a business if you want to have more time. Don't start a business if you think it is easier money. Don't start a business if you think you can be your own boss. Start a business only when you have a scalable, profitable business idea which you are willing to commit your time, effort, money, energy and resources to, which you're willing to fail at and still grow. Only then you start a business. With that, let's go to the fourth and final question for this week's episode. So Pawan, what's the fourth question?
Namrata is saying, I'm a curious student prepping myself to take up entrepreneurial journey. So I have a question for you. What's the one thing that most entrepreneurs should be doing but aren't?
One thing. Namrata, why one thing? I'll give you many things. I'll give you 4 things that entrepreneurs should be doing but aren't doing. The first thing that entrepreneurs should be doing but aren't doing is most people are not creating products or services on which people are willing to spend their money. They're creating products and services out of their own fantasy and whims that they feel that the world needs, but nobody is willing to spend money on it. So the first thing an entrepreneur should be doing is build products and services that solve a significant problem or fulfill a significant need or desire for which a specific target audience is willing to spend the money. That's the first thing. The second thing that entrepreneurs should be doing but aren't doing is marketing and selling themselves consistently. Most entrepreneurs depend on word of mouth. They wait for business to come to them. Word of mouth is not a marketing strategy because you can't control, you can't predict, you can't project how many inquiries you will receive through a weekend or a month. You need to market and sell yourself consistently. That's the second thing you should be doing as an entrepreneur. The third thing an entrepreneur should be doing but aren't doing is building teams and systems. Most entrepreneurs look at building teams as an expense. They look at it as a headache. They want to do everything by themselves, and they get stuck in this trap of self-employment where they are the business, they are not building a business. So building teams and systems is the third thing that you should be doing that most entrepreneurs aren't doing. The fourth thing that most entrepreneurs should be doing but aren't doing is most entrepreneurs are not paying themselves consistently. They're going with the flow. They're expecting for magic to happen where the lightning strikes, heaven's doors open, angels come down and say, you're the chosen one, now you start making money. No, you got to pay yourself consistently in business. Only then will you value yourself, value your time, value your input into your business. Last bonus one for you, Varsha. Most entrepreneurs are confusing themselves between learning from experiences and limiting based on experiences. Most people don't learn from their experiences. In fact, the more unpleasant experiences they go through in business, the more they reduce the size of their goals. And they call that learning. That's not called learning, that's called limiting. You got to learn in your business, not limit yourself. And learning from experiences is very difficult for most people when they go through unpleasant experiences. So instead of learning from experiences, you need to learn from experts. Most entrepreneurs aren't doing that. There are enough mentors, trainers, coaches out there who've built businesses which are scalable and profitable. If you can learn from somebody else's mistakes, take that faster route rather than having this misplaced self-fulfilling prophecy of I will learn from my own experience. Because you have one life. How much time do you want to waste? That's the question most entrepreneurs don't answer. So Namrata, you asked for 1, I gave you 5. I hope you found that useful. If you found this episode number 83 useful and you found all the answers useful, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on the link below and register yourself for my 4-hour signature training called the Business Breakthrough Seminar. In this training, I break down for you a step-by-step mechanism of building a business which can grow without you so you don't get stuck in the trap of self-employment. So click on the link and register yourself. I look forward to seeing you at the Business Breakthrough Seminar.